Greetings, fellow seekers of knowledge. It's your boy Isaac Anzu back once again in the blend. We are taking a magical journey through the world of Blender once more. Do I remember what's going on? Of course I do. What are you talking about? I remember I made some grass and a doggy sculpture and some rocks and houses and flowers and trees and a fence, and this here block, which I think is going to be the base of our operations. Yes. So, once again, today we're diving into Blender, and a funny thing happened to me right before the stream. I was picking the music for this stream, and I was delighted to see that they finally have Christmas music on my streaming music service, Pretzel Rocks. I was utterly delighted. Yet, right next to that, right next to the Christmas music, was none other than the funk playlist. Like, all right, gotta be true to myself, I guess. So we are funkin'. It ain't even Friday night and we're funkin'. Okay, so we're gonna try to pick up where we left off here and finish this video. We have like 20 minutes left in the video, and then I have a little project that we can do. If you read the title of the stream, you might know what that could be.
Let's use all of the tips from this video to complete our scene. I'll tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and at the end, I'll show you how to add a light and render an image.
Yeah, let's use all the tips we've learned through this video, which I totally haven't forgotten, to render and finish this scene.
You can follow along if you'd like, but I also encourage you to try making something on your own. The more you practice all of this, the easier it will be, and the more natural it'll feel. Let's start.
You know what? Before we even get into this, why don't we, like, just get back to this cursor. Why don't we just make something real quick? Oh my goodness. Why don't we just make a thing? What else should go in our little scene? What about I kind of want to use the torus. What's the torus? A giant donut, of course. No. This is fun. What could go on the torus? Let's see. Oh, what if it's a barrel? Hey, that's precisely what I was thinking. And then we can just grab it, move it up. Oh, and you know what we can do? All right, I know what we can do. It's like a rain barrel. So we will take our absolutely lovely barrel shape, and we're just going to add some cylinders. Mesh, cylinder. Okay. Let's get a good angle. Shift Z. Now we've got some water in the rain barrel, right? Shift only on the Z. And then move it up. There we go. Water in the rain barrel. And we can make this the blue material and make this the dark brown material. And then we add another cylinder. Another cylinder. Make it rather small. Make it rather tight. Move it up. We need it to be below the water level. Yeah, like so. And then just like so. Duplicate on the Z-axis, drop it down. And look at that. We've got a little barrel. We can make this material gray and this material gray. And bam, water barrel. What a barrel. What a barrel indeed. Looks cute. The bottom is blue, but nobody's ever going to see that. All right. We made another object. Good practice.
Start by organizing some of these things.
Let's start
I'll
by
just
organizing
select
some of
the
these
fence, and I'll just move it to the side so we can select some things more easily. Now I know that these two trees are in the same collection right here. What we can do is just parent all of these to the trunk so that...
Okay. Oh yeah. Before we do anything else, let's move this to a new collection and call it barrel. Want to make sure that it's not part of the grass patch. Okay. Remembering how to move. Let's move this over here and then over there. And then let's move the grass. I guess we can move the grass right here. Can you hear my cat going buck wild behind me? It's kind of funny. All right, so if I recall correctly, we can parent things over here in the menu. So
whenever we want to move a tree, we don't have to select the whole thing. We can just select the trunk. So let's select these two and shift select the trunk to make it yellow, which is the active selection, and Control P, parent to object. Let's do...
Yeah, easy. We don't have to do it in the outliner. We can do it this way. Select everything, shift select, Control P, object. And it worked. Incredible. That's definitely the fast way to do it. All right, let's just parent everything. We're gonna parent so many objects. Right, I can move this way. I guess let's parent this to the center of the fence. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. And then these don't hit the flower, just hit this parent. Why is my point of origin over here? Now that's strange. Item, tools. Let's affect only origins, and let's just grab on the X -2. Oh boy. All right. Let's unparent. Let's move this origin to a proper location. So GXX -1.5. Sure. No longer affect only the parent, or only the origins. Now yes, that is selected, so we parent. Is it Alt-P? Clear parent. Nice. Okay. I am a master of the blender. I am the blend lord. And we're literally just doing this to make things easier down the line, right? Let's just make sure. Okay, I don't think I left any grass particles anywhere. Why can't I zoom in anymore? Is it so small? No, that was weird. Okay, we'll just select this grass blade to be our center. Parent, looking good. Obviously the water will be the parent of the well. Awesome. And the water can be the parent of the barrel too. Just because it's very centralized. I'm going to not parent the rocks. And the island is already parented. The rocks will remain unparented. Just because they're
Do the same thing with this right here, and then shift select to make it the active selection, control P, and set parent to object. Now when we move these around, we only have to select the trunk and everything else will follow. We can do the same thing for this tree right here. So select everything, shift select the trunk, control P, and set parents to object. And let's move all of these into one collection. So I'll select...
Hold up. Make sure the music is loud enough. We just need to turn down the volume on the YouTube.
All of these once more and hit M and move to tree. Now our tree.001 is going to be empty. Select that and hit X to delete it. Let's go into material preview and see what textures we're missing. While you're doing all of this, don't forget to save with Control S. Let's change the colors of our house. So let's select everything right here and make sure that one of these is the active selection, so you can just shift click it until it's outlined in yellow. Now I want our houses to be blue, so we can just use the drop down right here and set it to blue. I think this is maybe a little too dark, so let's click this button right here. That will copy the material. Now you can see it's blue 1.001. Let's just rename this to blue 2. And we can come down here and I'll turn the value up and the saturation down a little. Now with all of these selected,
3.
we can hit Control L and select Link Materials. I
A
want our
nice
roof to be a different color, so let's Shift select the roof
pastel
parts right
blue.
here, and I'll make a new material for wood. So we can just click this X button right here, and that will clear the material that we have, and we can press New, and I'll name this wood, and we can make this whatever color we want. So I'll bring it.
All right, this needs to be the blue 3. And these all need to be wood colored. Yeah.
It close to orange. I'll turn the value down quite a bit and also the saturation. And I think this looks pretty good, so again hit Control L and Link Materials. Now let's go to our other house over here. I'll select it and hit period on the numpad to zoom in, and let's add some colors to this also. So this one I know is going to be blue too, and we can select all of these bricks. I'll just Shift select all of them, and I'll set this to blue 1 so they're a little darker, and then I'll hit Control L and Link Materials. Now the top I'll make the wood color, so we have wood right here. And for the pillars, I'll select all of them and I'll make them a slightly paler color. Choose wood in the drop down, and I'll press this button to make a copy, and I'll change this to wood 2, and I'll make it much more pale.
Okay, hold up. We're trying to. It looks like the view controls are a little bit wonky when you have so many objects selected. So we've selected all the bricks. Let's make them the slightly darker blue. Link. Yes, and then. Link materials. Yeah, it looks nice.
L by turning the value up and the saturation down. Now let's hit Control L and link those materials all.
All right, we make this our brown wood color, and let's make a copy of this, as he said, brown 3, turn the saturation down and the value up for some lighter wood, and just select all this. Oh, link materials. Oh, make sure this one's selected. Link materials. Look at that. Looks nice.
So for our flower, we can select everything and then Shift select the stem right here and Control P to parent to object.
Done.
Now if we move the stem, everything will follow. We can do the same thing for the well, just select everything, and then I'll Shift select the water last, and Control P, parent to object. For the fence, I'll just select everything, and then Shift click one on the end, and Control P, and parent
I
to
did the
object.
middle one.
For the house,
I guess it
I'll
doesn't
select
matter.
everything, and then Shift click the biggest part last at the bottom, and Control P, parent to object. And I'll do the same thing for this house right here. Let's make a door for our house. So for that, I want it to be the same color as the roof right here. So I'll just select that and hit Shift D to duplicate. Make sure snapping is set to face project and center, and then Control to snap it to the front right here. Now we can just scale it down to be however wide we want our door to be. I'll hit S and then Z to make it thicker, S and Y to do that. Now I'll look from the front and just...
Okay. We want the snapping to face project, right? So let's duplicate this. Nope. Duplicate. Hold Control so it snaps to a face. Oh, we want snap to center. Okay. Duplicate. Snap to center. There we go. And then Shift along the Z-axis to make it more door shaped. Shift along the X-axis to make it thinner, right?
Put this into place, maybe a little wider with S and X. I'll hit Shift D to duplicate it, and then R and 90. That will spin it around 90 degrees, and we can add some sides to the door. So S and Z.
I see. Okay. This is how he's building the thing. All right, so shift along the Z axis to make it thinner. Move it up a bit. Let's just select objects. Yeah, make the rocks go away so we can see clearer. All right, up a little higher. Then duplicate, still with the control thing on, rotate 90. Shift slightly. A little longer. A little longer. Looks good. Duplicate along the Y. And bam, look at that. Scooch that in a little bit. Scooch that in a little bit. We got ourselves a door.
To scale it up like that. And I'll duplicate this to the other side. If any of the bricks get in the way, you can just select them and move them over a little bit. I'll put it up here. Push these a little further. I want a wide door. Now I want the center of the door to be a different color, so what we can do is just duplicate this part right here with Shift D, and then I'll bring it down, S and X to scale it down, and S and Z to scale it up until it fills everything.
Cool. So duplicate on the Z. Look at that. And then we can make this gray.
Now I want this to be sunken in a little, so let's hit S and Y like that. Let's make this the second wood color. So click the drop down and set that to wood 2. And if we want a doorknob, we can add an icosphere or a UV sphere, but I like the icosphere. And I'll press G and hold Control to snap that to the front, and I'll hit S to scale it down. Now we can make this whatever color we want, but I know I have yellow in here already, so I'll have a yellow doorknob. And don't...
Okay. Add icosphere. I see. It's a lot easier to scale when you start further away. Let's just move this to where a doorknob would be, and then make it yellow.
forget that if you want to make this smooth, you can right click it while it's selected and
Shade smooth, baby.
I think this might look a little better if it's dark blue, so I'll select the drop down and hit blue 1. Now I want our other house to have a door also, so let's select all of these, shift select, and I'll select the middle part of the door
Smooth
last,
this out
like
just a
this, and
sec.
hit Control P and parent to object. Now with everything selected,
Okay, so select all this, make sure that's selected, parent to object. What else is selected here? Oh, geez. Right. We need Control P, object keep transform. There we go.
I can hit Shift D to duplicate and just move it to the side over here. Now we only have to select the center of the door if we want to move it around because it's all parented up. So with that selected, I'll go over to our other house like this, and I'll hit G and hold Control. And because we're using snapping, I don't even have to see the door where it starts. I know that it'll just snap to where I want it like that. So we can just line.
Hell yeah. Okay. So Shift duplicate, make a second door, and then let's what the hell is this parented to? I don't want it parented to that. Alt parent, clear parent. Okay. What the heck? Where'd my door go? Hold up. Hold the phone. House 2. Select objects. Why? You're so far away. Okay. I'm worried that I'm going to start undoing things that I shouldn't be. Okay. Running into problems, but can I solve them? Cute door obtained. Uh-huh. Okay. So, select, 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 select. Control P. Object keep transform. Good. Duplicate. Move it somewhere else. Okay, now I've got a door with no parent. We love that. Orphan door. All right. G. Control. Rotate along the Z 90 degrees. No. 270 degrees. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh, that
here.
was
You can see
confusing.
there's a relationship
I'm sure I
line
did
going
something
all the
wrong,
way
but
back. Something
now
must be
it's working.
parented. Let's actually just select everything in here, select this big cube last, and hit Control P. Now, if we just try to parent it like this, some of it will snap back. So remember, Control P, Object, Keep Transform like that, and that will make it so it stays put. Now I'll select everything right here and move it to the side, and I want to make a window, so I'll hit Shift A, Mesh, and we'll add a torus this time.
Hold up. Okay. We've parented this door to this house. We also need to move this to house 1. And then we need to highlight all this, parent all this, keep transform. And move all this to house 2, but it should already be in there, and it is.
So this will add a donut shape, and let's open up this panel right here. And for the major segments, I'm going to turn those down quite a bit until it's 4. So this is actually going to look like a rectangle, and I'll leave this count to 12 like that.
Okay, we're making a new shape. So let us move the barrel. Torus. Major segments, 4.
So this we can make the same color as the edge of our door, so I believe that's wood right here. And for the center part, I'll add another mesh. We'll set that to cylinder, and I want it to fit snugly inside of here, so we can set this to 4, and it should be the same shape.
Oh, that's interesting. He's beginning to believe. Hello, Sir Isaac. How are you today? Hello, all. Hello, Con. Hello, Venom. Sorry, I've been lost in the sauce right now. We're just setting this cylinder to 4, and look at that. Con, are you once again being shocked and amazed by random things and
You can just
Blender?
hit S and Z to scale it down like that until it's inside. Now this will be the glass part of our window, and we can set it to blue too, but I think I'd like it to be even lighter. So let's duplicate this right here, and we can rename this to blue 3, and I'll just make this lighter by turning the saturation down quite a bit like that. Select both of these, shift select the center, so that one's the active selection, Control P, parent to object like that. Let's hit G and hold Control to snap it to the wall right here. Now this is going to be way too big, so let's scale it down quite a bit. R, Y, 90. And if you want to leave it like a diamond, you can do that, but...
Okay. Select this. We're going to grab it. Wait. I had no idea the torus could be manipulated in such a way. That's why you ain't watching the tutorials. We need to rotate on the Z. No. Along X. Yes. And then rotate along the Y 45. And then scale down. Yeah.
if you want it to be a square, you can hit R, X, and then 45 like that. And we can add as many of these as we want. So if we wanted to, we could duplicate it with Shift D and hold Control and snap it to the other side as well. Now let's just make sure everything is parented up here. I have the lamp selected, so I'll just move it over. Box select everything, Shift select the cube, Control P, parent to object.
One
and again, if it
second, dude. 1 second, dude. Okay. Select you. Select you. Duplicate. Move here. Tutorial about basics. I sleep. Tutorials about hyper-specific issues I need to resolve right at that moment. Real shit? Oh, did you actually need to know something about the Taurus in that way? Keep transform, mother. And then let's clear parenting. But then, I mean, we've got to set the parent again, right? And then we can go over to our other little house. I see potential use cases for it. Ah, nice. This is like the classic child just drew their first house shit going on right here. Look at that. I'm a baby. I'm a
Round
Linda
like
baby.
that, hit Control Z, Control P, and Object Keep Transform. Let's move our other house a little closer so we can add some windows and bricks to this one also. Let's select both of these window parts and Shift D to duplicate.
The
and then bring it over
existential
here and
horror
hold
house
Control.
face.
Now, I want it to be on the side, so we can put that here. I could put one on the front also with Shift D, hold Control, and I want to rotate it with R, Z, and 90.
RZ
so we can have one right in
90.
the middle like that, and I think that's pretty good. Shift D, hold Control, snap it there, and we can add some bricks also. So let's select these. Shift D and hold Control, and we'll put as many of these as we want.
We want
We can also
everything
select
but
some
X.
on this
Yeah, there
side.
we go.
Shift D and hold Control.
AKA, I have
I'll
no
select
house
all
and I
of
must
these and bring them
scream.
to the other side.
That's just
Shift
being a
D,
millennial, dude.
Control. And I'll also do the same thing for the back. So select all of these, Shift D, and hold Control. Now let's make sure everything's parented up. You can see we have a bunch of relationship lines that are going to the wrong spot. So let's select everything over here. Shift select the big cube, Control P, and Object Keep Transform. I think our fence might look a little better as a different color. So let's select all of these.
Guts theme
Select the
plays.
end one, and I'll change that to wood 2, so it's that pale wood color. Control L, link materials. I think that's enough objects, so let's just select our houses and move it to the side.
Just gonna
like
duplicate
that. I'll select the
this.
big chunk of land over here. Make sure that the big cube is the active selection, and I'll hit Control P to parent, and I'll hit Alt G to move that back to the center. So when we're duplicating a parent, it won't actually copy all of its children, so we still have to select everything. So let's select all of these, Shift D to duplicate, and I'll just move.
Okay, hold up, dude. I am wigging out. Artistically place the bricks. So now if I do this, very carefully avoiding the grass, and set that, and then set parent keep transform, it erases the old parenting. That's lovely. Yes, this house is going through puberty. I would ask you to be gentle in your what is, wait, hold up. I knew it. This brick. Not that way. You need to stick out a bit more. Look at the inside of the house. It's pretty cool. I'm an interior designer. Hell yeah. And do these have the same... Oh no. I see. One mustn't just change the parent. One must remain organized and also change the selection. Let us remain organizado, bitte. He's going through puberty? Nerd! You fool. The real nerd was you all along. Alright, we just do that. The camera be wild, and is all I'm saying. We'll just take a few of these bricks, duplicate them onto this side. Disintegrating smiley.gif. Huh? P. Parent. And then M. Nope. Not new collection. Just move this to house. MD. House MD. Look at the bricks. Oh, they look nice, except they're sticking out too far on this side, aren't they? They are. Let's just adjust them ever so slightly. Beautiful. Now we have an illusion. There's a couple of the front bricks not touching the house. That is entirely possible. Oh yeah, you're right. What are you guys doing? Inset yourself. That's what the Jackson 5 told me, right? Inset yourself. Beep beep. Ba-doo boop 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 ba-doo 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 boop. Can't wait to start. Isaac can start streaming as the first house YouTuber. Yep. Isaac House Zoo. Coming to a screen in your house. That's right. It's the first houseception. Okay, let's just make sure all those are parented. Let's just make sure that all of these are parented. And in the right collection. Okay. Cobra 137, thank you for the first time chat, and also thank you for pointing out my my mistakes. All right.
I'll select the big chunk of land over here, make sure that the big cube is the active selection, and I'll hit Control P to chunk of the color. So let's make sure everything's parented up. You can see we have a bunch of relationship lines that are going to the wrong spot. So let's select everything over here, Shift select the big cube, Control P, and Object, keep transform. I think our fence might look a little better as a different color, so let's select all of these, Shift select the end one, and I'll change that to wood too, so it's that pale wood color. Control L, link materials. I think that's enough objects, so let's just select our houses and move it to the side, like that. I'll select the big chunk of land over here, make sure that the big cube is the active selection, and I'll hit Control P to parent, and I'll hit Alt G to move that back to the center.
Okay, did I actually parent these? I did. Okay, good. Okay, I think it's time. We're just gonna select all this stuff. Move it over here. Move this back to our center here.
So when we're duplicating a parent, it won't actually copy all of its children, so we still have to select everything. So let's select all of these, Shift D to duplicate, and I'll just move it over to the front, and we'll create a few more of these floating islands. And let's make one more. Scale it down with S, and I think that's pretty good. Now we can...
Yeah, that's nice. All right. It's too far away. Just use the things. Don't think too hard. Let's make them a little closer together, shall we? No. Yeah. Oh. Right. When you move them, you move the parent and the child. But when you duplicate them, you only duplicate one at a time. How's that look? How's that look, fellas? Not too good. Let's just move these out just a little bit more. A nice 3-level effect.
And just start dragging some of these things over. So let's go over to our houses, and I'm going to change the snap settings. So instead of center, I'll change it to closest, and we're still using face project. So let's select the big cube right here. Remember that it's parented, so we have that selected. I'll hit G and hold control to snap it over here, and I'll hit G, move it up on the Z axis with Z, and then I'll hit G and control again, and now it'll be snapping to the bottom face right there. This is a little big, so we can hit S to scale this down. Let's go get our other house.
Yeah. Let's grab our house. Ooh, parent, silly Isaac. 3D models can't procreate. They can if you shift the D. Yes, remember, Con. In order to model correctly, one must shift the D. All right. Looking good. And then let's go over here and G control. Move it on up, and then G control once again. I mean, that looks nice, doesn't it? Look at that. A little house on a little prairie.
House. So we can select the big cube right here. Again, G and control. We can bring this over. G, Z to bring it up. And this needs to be quite a bit smaller also. So let's scale this until it looks.
All right, grab the big cube, G control, move it up, G control. Do you think it needs to be smaller? I don't think so. I think it needs to be rotated though. On the Z axis for 45 degrees. No, 90 degrees. No. Yes? I mean, that looks nice, but I think I want to rotate it a little bit more. There we go. We've got a nice little courtyard effect.
Looks pretty close to the same size right there. Again, we need to hit G and control.
I wouldn't mind scaling this down.
I'll rotate this whole thing with R, Z,
but
90,
then we have
and then press the minus sign, and that will flip it around to negative 90 degrees. So we have two houses. Let's select the water from our well right here. G and control to snap it. Let's scale this down quite a bit. Now G and control to snap it back down. Let's select our fence. And remember, everything is parented to this end piece right here, so we can select that and G control. Now we have to scale this down quite a bit, so I'll scale it down G and Z to pull it up. And
okay, he's just kind of putting things wherever, huh? We'll just scooch you over. Look at that. A cute little well. What's next? The fence?
And G and control to snap it back. And we'll put it over here so people don't fall off this cliff. Let's make this a little shorter with S and Z. And we can bring some of these trees over as well. Let's select this one, G and control, G and Z to bring it up. And let's scale this down quite a bit. I think it's okay.
I think he's just putting together the pieces, which is what this chapter is called. Aesthetically putting together the pieces. Grab our center fence. grab on the Z-axis. Scale you down. Yeah, we can't have people falling off the edge now, can we? Is there an HOA in this neighborhood? God, I hope not. Could you imagine? Fence. Select objects. Duplicate on the X-axis. We'll just make a nice long fence. Looks great. Tree. Oh, we only need to select the trunk, right? Because they are parented. All right, grab control. Up you go, grab control. And then scale the heck down. And then grab control. Beautiful. Grab you. Well, okay, just grab you. Scale down. Move them up. How's that looking? I can't even see it. There we go. I'm still getting used to how this works. If there was an HOA in this neighborhood, the person would definitely be living in this house, and then the HOA representative would be in this house, and then the other person would be in this house, and they'd be very upset about everything. They'd be like, I didn't ask for this. Why my HOA so dumb? Every axis but the Z-axis, I would like to replicate this on. Duplicate every axis but the Z-axis. Now let's see the other one. Duplicate, Shift Z. Duplicate, Shift Z. Duplicate, Shift Z. It's looking mighty cozy, isn't it? HOAs should be illegal. They would be wondering why the grass is not cut to exactly 2.5 inches. Yeah, see, this lawn right here, HOA approved. We're gonna add some stuff to this lawn. Oh yes, we are.
Okay for this one to be pretty large, but I want to scale these out a little more. So let's shift select all of these, S, and then Shift Z, and these will get a little wider. Now select the trunk again, G and Control to snap it down. Let's select the other tree, G and Control to snap it, G and Z to bring it up. And let's scale this down quite a bit. And I think this rotation is a little strange. It's going to be cutting into our other tree. So let's hit R and Z, and we can spin this around. And G, Control.
That grass has too many polygons. It's going to bring down the value of the neighborhood. Get out of here. All right. I'm not listening to this guy. He has no integrity as an artist. We are not putting different types of trees on the same area. What does he think this is? All right. Oop. What tree are we working with right now? Tree 1? Nope. Tree 2? Nope. It's tree 3. Isaac hates biodiversity confirmed 2023. The hip piece is out. And then we can rotate it around the Z axis. Thank you. And then let's just select and duplicate this on everything but the Z axis. And then rotate it around the Z axis. It's the Council of Trees! No, we can't have that. What was that? Do they all have a second stem? Oh god, they do. All right. I would not qualify this as funk, would you? I don't think so. A little grove of trees down there.
To place it where we want it. We can bring our last tree over, select the trunk, G and Control, G and Z to bring it up, S to scale. And let's scale this up a little, S and Z, like that. G and Z, scale this down. We want a few smaller trees now. G, Control to
Where
snap
are
it.
the
Let's add a few
Edwards?
more trees. I'll
What a
duplicate
good
this
question.
one. So I'll select the trunk
The Council
and
of
the
Trees
top part,
demands to know.
Shift D to duplicate, and I'll just make
Isn't
a
that-
few of these, move them around like that. So I have 4. Now I'll just select the trunk, G and Control, and we can move these around a little just to fill some space. Scale them a little, select the trunk, G, Control, select the trunk.
Just need a nice stepping stone path. Ooh, we should have done a stepping stone path. Dang, dude. That would have been cool. Dang. I guess it's not too late, huh? Duplicate. Duplicate. We're going to move you back. And up. Look at that. It's lovely. It's never too late. Okay, I've got some ideas. But we gotta let's keep going on this video.
Control, and maybe make this one a little smaller also. G and Control so it's actually snapped. Let's bring this flower over. So select this part, G, Control. Now this is huge, so G, Z to bring it up, S to scale. We can make this a pretty big flower, you know, compared to the houses, just so we can see it from far away. G, Control to snap it to the bottom. Select the stem, and we can select all the children with Shift and right bracket. Now if we hit 7 to look from above and Shift D to duplicate, I know that this cube is flat, so I know that we don't have to snap it again as long as we're looking from the top. And when you place them with it still selected, you can also R to rotate it. So let's place some more of these with Shift D. We can also place some over here, but we're going to have to snap it down. So G.
All right. This tall ass flowers. I guess that's what I wanted. I made a tall ass flower. I can't deny it. Maybe we should scale it down even more. Yeah, that looks nice. Grab Control, then just There's got to be a way. Where does the guillotine go? No ideas. There's got to be a way to select parents. Select linked. Select G children. Okay. So if we do Shift G children, no? Wait, Shift G immediate children. And then we can select the parenting app. That seemed to work. Let's see, they're still parented. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I'm utterly fucking this. How the fuck? You know what? We're just gonna say flower. Why are there so many flowers? Uh-oh. I've made a lot of cylinders, apparently. How the fuck? It begins. We're just gonna go back a lot. Look at that. Okay. Finally, we're back to a single object. Select objects. Good. Duplicate. Okay. Excellent. All right. Before we select objects, before we duplicate, we're going to shrink this flower to an appropriate size. Grab. Place. Look from above. All right, we've got these objects selected. Duplicate, grab. Duplicate. Fantastic. All right. We've got a little patch of flowers there. We can create a little patch of flowers here. One of the first things that this tutorial told me to do was to set my undo steps to 256. And I have to say, 100% correct decision. Bruh, you didn't know you could do that? It's set at the default of 32, which is a pitiful amount of undo steps for someone just beginning. Honestly, setting my undo steps to 256 made me feel very safe and comfy. So I would recommend it for everyone who tries this silly little formula. I'm so mad. Oh, please don't tell me you've lost projects or something like that because you didn't have enough undo steps. But that sounds like something that could happen. Oh yes. Oh no. All right, we've got some nice flour.
E and control like that. And I'll bring one down over here. Shift D and control. We'll rotate this a little. Bring another one over here. I think we could use another tree right here, so I'll select both of these. Shift D. Maybe scale this down a little more. G and control to snap it. Now just to fill some more space, I'm going to create a rock. So what I'll do is hide everything. I'll hit A and H, and now everything is hidden. And I'll hit Shift A, Mesh, Cone. Now with the panel down here, I'll change this down to 4, and I also...
Okay. He's just throwing stuff around right now. I'm going to go grab some more of my stuff. Yes, let's focus on the pretty flowers. All right. We need to find the perfect spot for this dog statue. It's just supremely important. Look at it. It's a very important dog statue. All right. Scale you down. And I also think we're going to rotate you along the Z 180. We have a little dog statue looking over the well. Now that I look at it, it could be a goat statue. I don't want it to be a goat statue, but it definitely could be a goat statue because I can't escape the goats. No matter how hard I try, they can't stop me now. Okay. Grab. Control. And let's scale this down. Look at that. Oh, that's cute. Okay. What's that dog statue? Jimmy fell in the well. Oh no. Gotta remember that your view is always based on what you're holding. Let's rotate this along the Z 90 degrees. Oh, right. Let's move it up. And then grab. Must remember to snap it. Look at that. They're cute. All right. And then we'll just let's see. I don't know which one's the parent, but I guess we can go to grass patch and select the parent from here. Yeah, select just this one. Select hierarchy. Yeah, you're cute. Is that true? My wife tells me that all the time. Let's make this grass more wild. The untamed grass of the lower cube. I guess we should think about what angle this is going to be rendered at, right? Because I kind of want it to be this angle, which means that that grass that I just made isn't even going to be in the picture. All right. So let's move the grass. Beautiful. And then we can take this icosphere, select the hierarchy, and just move it down here. Scale it up. There. Now we've got some nice grass. What if we... So let me see. I want to set my camera here. Right, I can do that. Do I even have a camera in here? I don't have a camera. I need to add camera. Okay. I'm sure he'll figure that. I'm sure he'll tell us how to do it. Nothing like some unkempt underbrush. Hell yeah. We've still got 2 more things to add. Our rain barrel. Not what I wanted to grab. I want to grab the water. And then we want to move the rain barrel over here, move it up. Scale it down to barrel size. Grab and just put it right at the corner of the house. Yeah. All right, and last we've got the rocks. So let's grab those. Where do the rocks go? Like here? Let's duplicate, put some rocks back there, rotate them for variety, duplicate rocks over here, lift them up, rotate them for variety. Good, they look good. All right. Let's follow his rock making method though.
Snap it. Now just to fill some more space, I'm going to create a rock. So what I'll do is hide everything. I'll hit A and H, and now everything is hidden. And I'll hit Shift A, Mesh, Cone. Now with the panel down here, I'll change this down to 4. And I also want to make the top radius 0.5. And we can give this a new material.
Ah, look at that. Ooh, new things to do with cones. All right. vertices for top radius 0.5. No. Cone. Top radius 1. Radius 2.5. Hey, look at that. We've got like a ziggurat.
And I'll call this gray, and we'll just make this a little darker like that, and we can move it to the side. Now let's bring everything back with Alt-H. To make this easier to control, we can move the origin point to the bottom. I'll press 1 on the number pad to look from the front, select this, go into edit mode, hit A to select.
All right. Wait, no. Rock, come back.
Snap it. Now just to fill some more space, I'm going to create a rock. So what I'll do is hide everything. I'll hit A and H, and now everything is hidden. And I'll hit Shift A, Mesh, Cone. Now with the panel down here, I'll change this down to 4. And I also want to make the top radius 0.5. And we can give this a new material, and I'll call this gray, and we'll just make this a little darker like that.
All right.
And we can move it to the side. Now let's bring everything back with Alt-H. To make this easier to control, we can move the origin point to the bottom. I'll press 1 on the number pad to look from the front, select this, go into edit mode, hit A to select everything, G and Z, and just move this up until the origin point is close to the bottom. Then you can...
Okay. Alt-H brings everything back. Cool. And now we've got our rock, our big rock. Select the rock. Grab control. Look at that.
Exit edit mode, go back to object mode, and we can change the snapping options to center instead. Now it will snap to the origin point. So select this, hit G and control. We can snap this here, and we can scale it down like that. Let's hit S and Z to scale it down quite a bit. I'll look from the top with 7, and we'll create a few more of these. So Shift D, scale it down, and we can just create some interesting patterns. This can be like a rock formation, and we can move this.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. I think what I want to do over here is make a little like stepping stone type thing, right? Scale down that Z a little bit, and then from the top we can duplicate, keep it snapped. Yeah, something like that. Looks rocky. Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty nice. Can we lock the camera to this view? I don't think we want just that, huh? Let's get a nice big camera, and then we want a little bit of all of this, right? Framing. All right, I think our camera is set And now we can hit 0 whenever we want to look at the camera and just make sure that things are all organized well. So like, for instance, this dog statue can move maybe like here. This is not funk. What the hell is this playlist? No. That ain't funk. It's like polka. Nothing against polka. We like some polka on here. But, yeah. It ain't funk. Can we see the dog statue from there? Yeah, it looks like we can see the dog statue from there. I like the barrel poking out. Yeah, looking good.
It's around just to fill some space. Let's add a few up here. So with one selected, Shift D and Control. Shift D and Control again. We can just move them wherever we want. Let's add one over here, and let's add a few over here. So Shift D, Control, scale them up with S.
And now we can make our little stone path, right?
More times, so something a little bigger. Let's add a few over here. All right, let's set up our camera now. So let's hit 0 on the numpad to look through the camera. And
I just did
to open
this.
up the...
Cool. I just did this. I didn't need your filthy instructions. Filthy. Let's scale that Z down. Scale everything down in general. Rotate along the Z by 45 degrees. Look at it from the top. And then we can duplicate. That. Look at that, nice little stone path. And then I think I want to, let's just highlight all the rocks. And I don't think there's a faster way to do this. Make sure to remove that rock that's floating there. And we'll just new collection rocks. Okay. You, bye-bye. All right, there's one more thing that I want to do, and I'm going to highlight everything, hide everything. We're going to make a cube. Make it brown. Scale it along the everything but the Z-axis. Pretty thin, but not too thin. Then duplicate along the X-axis. Duplicate along the X-axis, rotate 90 degrees, shift along the X-axis, scale down slightly, then duplicate along the Z, duplicate along the Z, Duplicate along the Z. Maybe move this boy down. And this boy down. And then just highlight these boys. Duplicate along the Z. Get rid of this one. And we've got a little ladder. Look at that. I'm passing out, so I'm head to bed. Thanks for stream. Dude, thanks for stopping in. I'm glad that I could once again shatter your worldview. But I do hope that you have a good day. Night. Get some sleep. All right. Y'all go in your own collection called Ladder. Okay. And then we move you here. I just want to rotate along the Z 90 degrees. There. Look at how nice that looks. Yo, it's like the perfect length too. I guess that makes sense since I didn't adjust the cube height, and default cube is probably what I used for the grass cap, so it's like 2 meters exactly. But yeah, we'll just chalk that up to being awesome.
Side panel, make sure you go to view and turn on camera to view. Now we should be able to move this around. Let's just set this to an angle that we like. When you have it where you want it, you can uncheck camera to view like that. And we want to see what this looks like in render view. So we can go over here, and right now it's very dark. And the reason for that is because of this light. We need more light. So let's just move this over right here. You can just move this with G. And to change the strength of this light, or to change what type of light it is, you need to select it and then down over here under
Okay. I'm pretty sure I deleted the light when we started this, so let's add in a sunlight. Or a point light.
Object data properties that should look like a little light bulb. This is a point light. We could also change this to a sun, spot, area. I like the point lamp, but let's set it up a little higher right here, and we can also turn the power up. Let's just set it to something like 5,000. And if we want, we can create another light with either Shift A, and
Nice.
there's a light option right here, or we can just duplicate this by selecting it and hitting Shift D, and I'll move it over right here. I'll change this to a sun light right here, and I'll set the strength to 1 for now. If you want to shut off one of your lights just to see what it looks like, you can do that over in the outliner, like that.
All right, let's add some more lights, I guess. So add sunlight. Strength 1. I see. Okay, I kind of like that. But then we have this light as well.
This is what it looks like with just the sunlight. Let's rotate this by pressing 7 to look from above, and with this selected, we can just rotate it like that. This angle option, if we turn it down all the way, our shadows will be very sharp, and if we turn it up high, then our shadows will get much softer. So I'm going to turn it up pretty high just so we can get some coverage under our trees. We can also turn the strength up a little more too. I'll set it to 2, and we can turn our other light back on. The radius of your point light is also going to change how sharp the shadows are. So if you don't like how sharp this shadow is right here, you can just turn the radius up a little bit, and you can see now it's a little softer. So
oh, we need to... These are going into grass patch for some reason. Okay. With our lights selected, let's with our lights selected, let's M N light new collection. And we can select and control them more easily. Oh, I had it muted for some reason.
Try to get it how you want. So when I look through my camera with 0, I think this looks pretty good now. And we can render this out by going up to Render and selecting Render Image. If you don't like what you see here, feel free to change some of the settings. I think the rock color should be a little darker, so let's select one and just turn it down a little. I'd also like the background to be blue instead of gray, so it looks more like a sky.
Okay, how's this looking? I think this... I think the dog statue should be a different color. So we select objects. Yeah, like a granite dog statue, more like.
Plenty of ways to do this, but I think the easiest way is to just add a plane and add some color to it. So we can hit Shift A to add in a plane. Let's drag it over here, rotate it with R, Y, 90, and then I'll look through the camera with 0 and hit S to scale until this is very large. I'll just move it a little closer to the center of the screen visually, and then scale it up until it fills everything. And make sure this isn't bumping into any of your lights, or else it might look a little strange.
Okay, let's add a plane, mesh, plane, rotate Z90, no, X90, no, Y90, not 99999, yeah, Y90, scale, very, very large. Yeah. Yeah. And then we go to that plane and make it a powder blue.
So let's add a new material to this. With it selected, we can hit the new button over here, and I'll name this Sky. So we can change the color the way that we have been by changing this base color option right here. But you'll notice that we have some reflections and some
water
shadows
color,
so
the house
if you
color.
don't want there to be any shadows, one thing that we can do is right here where it says Principled BSDF, you can click on that and we can change it to Emission right here. And now this will be a flat color that won't be affected by light at all. So we can change this to a blue color right here and maybe just turn the saturation down. And if you think this looks a little too dark, you can also turn the strength up a little, but don't turn it up too much. So I'm not going to talk about render settings too much, but I think it's worth mentioning that Blender has 2 different render engines that you can use. So if you come up here to render properties, you can see that we have the render engine Eevee, and that's what we've been using the whole time.
Let's mess with the lights a little bit more now that we have a background in place. Like, are the lights behind the background? No. Okay, good. Ah, okay. Here we go. Okay, I can see why you might want to put the where is this thing? It's in dog statue, because of course it is. Let's just move this to move inside this collection. There we go. Yeah, let's copy this material and change it to an emission. A powder blue, or maybe a dark blue, like a night. Nighttime is the bright time. And then we can make this, or no, darker. Darker. There's a lot going on here and there. Why don't we make the sunlight a little brighter? A nice, ooh, just so nice.
This will look a little more simplified. The lighting is not going to be completely physically accurate. And if you want it to be more accurate, we can click this right here and set it to cycles instead.
Eevee. Cycles. Oh, goodness.
But be warned that if you don't have a dedicated graphics card, this might not work well on your computer. But we can click that to see what it looks like, and you'll notice some more realistic shadows and reflections. Cycles also takes longer to render usually, so I'm going to change this back to Eevee, and then we can render it one last time by going to Render, Render Image, and I think this looks pretty good, so let's save it now. We can go up to Image, Save.
All right, we're just going to go back to Eevee because I don't want to test my graphics card right now.
As you can decide where you want to save it, and you can also change your file format here. I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you don't want to miss the next...
Okay. Rendering in Eevee. Export. Render image. I mean, how's this? You can't even see it. Okay. Go back a second, buddy.
can render it one last time by going to render, render image, and I think this looks pretty good, so let's save it now. We can go up to image, save as. You can decide where you want to save it, and you can also change your file format here. I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you don't want to miss the next one about modeling, make sure to subscribe, and if you want some help, you can come to my Discord server. Come to Patreon to watch my videos early, download the project files from my videos, and get coupon codes for free products. I also donate some of the profits to environmental causes each month. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Let's just call it my first blend. I mean, it's basically what you see on this screen. It just opened up another screen. Okay. Let's hide my Firefox. So we did it. Look at that. It's done. My first blend. So that means, of course, we must start again. Goodbye, sun. Goodbye, camera. We start with the cube. Okay, so the goal now is to just make something, make a little project something, using all of the things that I've learned. The things that I've learned from this this here tutorial, just to play a little bit. And we're not in edit mode at all. We're just in object mode. So we're just gonna make objects. So I think what you can do is you can add a image. Yeah, so let's okay. I'm gonna add an image, a reference image from my files here. And we can shift that along everything but the y-axis to make it bigger. Oh, look at that. Do you recognize it? Yes. We're going to try to make the library. How cool is that? I think it is pretty cool. Now it is like right there, isn't it? So let's, what is it? Grab along the Y and just scooch it back. That's too far. Grab along the Y, scooch it forward. All right. Boom. So where do we start with something like this, I wonder? I would imagine it's with the structural elements. So let's start with the pillars. So I'm going to take the cube and I see. Okay. So we need Shift X and just make it line up precisely. Now, maybe what we can do is we can move this along the x-axis ever so slightly, just so we're lining up with that central pillar. Yeah. Now there is some perspective baked in here to make it look a little bit more realistic. Not gonna worry about that. Oop. Select the right thing. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I think I know how we can make this top part, and I think we should make this top part before we, because we can just duplicate this and then make the top part over there. Hello, hello. Oof, doing your background is a very fancy idea for practice. It is. Maybe then I can exist in a cool background space, you know? How are you doing? I'm doing well. We just finished. I'm just gonna here. You know what? I'm gonna pull up the image that I just made in Blender. Oh my god, a Blender. Open with just photos. Yeah, yeah. And then I'm gonna pull that up. Give me just a second. But hello, ViriTuber. ViriTuber, how are you? Thank you for the first time chat. My hello. My cat is also here to say hello. Blue, the cat boy. Oh wait, I don't have to fucking do. What am I doing? I'm using too much window capture. I can load in an image. My first blend. Beautiful. I'm doing good. Glad I finally caught one of your streams. Heck yeah. You usually stream during my lectures. Ah, I see. Now are you... Oh, that's big. We're just gonna set this on the desk. It's my first image. I'm gonna make a little text thing. Properties. Baby's first blend. Yeah. That's adorable. Why, thank you. Boom. Baby's first blend. There. It's on the refrigerator. I'm very happy. But now we're gonna make baby's second blend. Let's go. So are you the one lecturing or are you the one attending the lecture? Let's make sure to set the point of origin properly. Shift along the Z. You're a student? Ah, I see. Let's zoom in and shift up. That's cool. What are you studying? What studieth you? My studying days are I would say they're behind me, but they're not really. Because I am a lifelong learner. Basically, computer science and game design. Ooh, that's cool. What would you like to do with such a degree? You want to design your own games? That is pretty cool. You are never finished studying. Isn't that a saying? Yeah, but I think it's often misconstrued because there comes a certain point where you're no longer learning from books, but you're learning from experience and exposure to different ideas, right? Ooh, along the x-axis only, please. A column, if you will. All right, we need to add a cone. We've added a cone with 4 vertices and only half of a radius here. We will shift this upside down and then move it up. Rotate along the Z 45 degrees. Excellent. Oh, did I? Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I need to start over. I would love to start my own indie studio and make some games. Heck yeah. That sounds lovely. Can I set this radius 2 to... No, depth to 1 meter. Yeah, that's fine. Radius 1 to 2 meters? No, radius 1 to 1 meter. Radius 2 to 1 meter. How do I get the shape that I'm looking for? 5? Ah, okay. So these are the 2 radii. Oh, I see. I know how to get the shape that I'm looking for. Of course. We need to squish. For now, I should probably... We'll see if that works out. For now, I should probably just make something fun. Absolutely. I am of the staunch belief that you should always start with something that you really enjoy. And if you can get that right, if you can find something that you really enjoy to do, then everything else kind of comes after that, you know? Yeah, we'll just like set this here. Scale along the Z a little bit more. Global scaling down. Global scaling up. Ah, I see. We need the cone properties to work out correctly. Where do I do that? I want radius 1, radius 2. Object. So I'm curious now, what do you find fun? Let's scale along the Y. Yeah. I can see the problem clearly now. So that means we need to add a cone. And radius 2 needs to be like 0.95 or like maybe 0.8. Rotate 45 degrees along the Z-axis. Grab along the Z, move it up. And I think what we're going to have to do is shift along the Y and make it large enough. It's a very big question, isn't it? I think I like telling stories. It's fun for me to make people feel things. So true. I'm right there with you, 100%. Actually, when I started this channel, I was very much into the idea of storytelling. Finding people's stories, bringing them on the channel. I even had an interview show for a while. When I say a while, I mean a very small amount of time. Should bring that back. I'm doing this way wrong. Doing this way wrong. No, I don't want to delete. I want to shift along the x-axis. Right? Isn't that what I want to do? Oh, no. I want to shift along... Nope. Bruh. I didn't think this would be this hard. What kind of people did you interview? Oh, you know, other VTubers, of course. Let's save this real quick. Let's just save this real quick before I supremely mess things up. Nope. 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 Shift more. Shift more. I don't know what, you know, I love trying to help you, but I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, I mean, same though. I think this is what I'm trying to accomplish though. I think I've got it. Rotate only along the y-axis, please. And yet it makes it bigger along the x-axis. What the heck? Oh! Sorry. I forgot I rotated this bad boy. So of course it's gonna behave weirdly. If I instead scale along the local x, does that do what I want to do? No. All right, there's a tool for this. There's a tool for this. You can apply the rotation, then it should act normal again. Yeah. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. Yeah, but that's not what I want. Why is it so hard to make this shape? I just want to make a long boy shape. I guess it's trying to act like a cone, isn't it? So what if we, instead of adding a cone, we added a cylinder? Ah ha ha. Okay, I think I know what to do now. Because what we can do is we can change this to 3, and then we get the shape that I'm looking for. And we can rotate it along the X 90 degrees. I mean, 270 degrees. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Somehow it's working. Okay, I mean, this is what I want, really. I guess I don't need the other shape. I flew too close to the sun, really. And then we can just go like shift along the Y. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shift along the Y. Look at that. It's very pillar-like. Yeah, you can barely tell. Okay. Just select everything except for the background. Go to the materials. Go to the materials. Go to the materials. Where's the materials? Did I lose it? I've lost it. We're just gonna play. Make sure the first cube is the one selected. Yep. Link materials. And then we can make them that, I guess we can make them that exact color brown, can't we? Awesome. Look at that column. Oh my God, we did it. Oh, thank you, Viri. The rotation thing was wild. Okay, we're just gonna new collection columns. Beautiful. And then we can duplicate and move them like this. Yeah, so maybe I should think about bringing back my little interview thing. I really liked it. What am I moving this on? The x-axis. Where'd all my stuff go? Wait, hold up. Okay. Select objects. They still look normal. Okay. Duplicate along the X. Duplicate along the X. You could also use an array modifier, so he automatically makes more for you. Oof. I haven't learned about modifiers yet. They sound powerful. I've seen a lot of YouTube shorts that have like the Boolean modifier. It like deletes things. Use a shape to delete from another shape. And then everybody works in edit mode. It's honestly very impressive. I find it extremely impressive. There's things that people can do with this software. Let's duplicate this one more time. And then let's duplicate it one more time, but this time delete you, delete you, delete you. And then we'll just shorten you. Back to the front. There we go. Yeah, I am vaguely aware that there are a lot of easier ways to do things in Blender. But right now, I'm not worried about the easy way to do things. I am worried about the I'm worried about the object mode way to do things. Because I really want to master object mode before I do anything else. It just feels like the right thing to do, you know? Okay, so let's grab along the X and just make sure all of these boys are perfectly in line. Thank goodness this is copyright-free music, because then I can sing along to it. Beautiful. Yeah. If I can't do stuff like this, like, without the arrays, then do I really deserve the arrays? No. It's not a healthy mindset. Absolutely. Sorry for imposing. No, not at all. I mean, really, if you think about it, I'm the one who has to tell you how I'm doing things because you like just got here. Zero worries. Shift along the Z. Let's make you nice and yeah, that looks good. So I guess instead of asking how does this work, that thing is behind that. Got it. So we need to make this slightly, ever so slightly behind. Perfect. So I guess instead of asking, like, what do you want to do with your degree, I should ask, what sort of games do you like? What sort of games do you like playing? Let's shift along the X and just make this boy nice and wide. Nice and wide. Look at that. Instant success. Our first material is going to be dark wood. Looking actually kind of good, don't you think? All right. Next, let's add another cube, and let's make this door thing. Or should we make the things up top first? I think we can make the thing up top as a single block, so let's make the thing up top. Block. Shift Z. Beep 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 beep. A lot of city sim stuff like Anno and Skylines and RPGs. I'm currently back in the Baldur's Gate hole again. I am so excited to play that game when I have the money to. What you said? That is the problem, isn't it? The money. But yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, and the way too many TTRPGs. Ooh, all right. Well, I guess we have to have this conversation, right? What's your favorite? What do you play? Who's your character? Are you the DM or not? And this one will be called. Wait, no. This one needs to be Darkwood. Now this is new material. It can be Lightwood. Damn capitalism. Oh, you'll fit in easily, right? In this channel. I'm mostly DMing. Nice. We stan a DM. Right now I'm trying a lot of the Powered by the Apocalypse systems, Monster of the Week, and Monster Hearts. Very cool. I have not played those systems, although I have seen people playing them. Go away menu, I need to see. I've seen people playing them or listen to podcasts, and they seem pretty cool. Pretty easy to pick up and teach, which is always such a blessing. I've mostly played D&D 5th edition. Standard D&D 5th edition, of course, and then whatever indie stuff itch throws at me. Nice. Yeah, I'm currently working my way through reading the Player's Handbook for 3rd edition. Which is big and complicated. But I kind of like it. I kind of enjoy the different take. It's like viewing an alternate reality. All right. Look at this. I get the feeling that object mode is where you do like your basic building stuff. So we're going to do a lot of basic building stuff today. And then we'll start getting into rendering I hear grease pencil is really cool, but no idea how to use it, obviously. Now this is funk. A lot of people still play 3rd edition, especially compared to 4 and 4.5. At least it feels like that. Yeah, when they released 4th edition, they were all like, we're gonna make it very similar to WoW. Right? Everything but Y. Perfect. Like have these kind of abilities that people can refresh on rests, and like very mechanical, right? Very mechanically dense system. And then turns out people didn't like that because character design is king, as usual, right? You can have a video game for your video game needs, but only D&D gives you that freedom of expression that people crave. All right, let's just make sure we're lining this bad boy up well. Yeah, I love when new players who expect it to work get a gamer like, I can do anything I want to. That is the draw, man. That is why we're here. That's why we haven't stopped playing it for years and years and years and years. Now you know, and you can never go back. All right, new material. Slightly different wood. Let's call this midwood. It's very mid. All right, and then we duplicate along the x-axis and just make a little bit of a gap here. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Maybe we do maybe do one more cube. Just shift it down along everything but the Y. No. Grab it down along everything but the Y. Put it right here in the middle. Oh, right. What is the... This is wireframe mode. Do the different modes have... Yeah, I don't want wireframe mode, thanks. Then we'll just... Oh, God. I need to remember to start my cursor further away from whatever I'm doing. And then we can just grab this along the Y and move it like right there. And then we've got a little gap. We can set this material to backwood because we'll need this material a lot. And then in the material view, it looks like that. Nice. Okay. Let's just hide that for a second. Go into this view so it's easier to see everything. And then just... Oh, no. We don't want to hide the back thing. We want to turn on X-ray. Yeah. There we go. Duplicate along the X. Line up the line. Duplicate along the X. Line up the line. Oh, okay. The perspective is starting to mess with things a little bit. So let's just scale along the X-axis a little bit. Duplicate along the X-axis. Thing, oh beauty. Okay. Duplicate along the X-axis. Line up the line. Scale along the X-axis. Duplicate along the X-axis. Line up the line. Scale along the X-axis. Why is this? Okay. I accidentally scaled it incorrectly. Let's just adjust. And then we need one more. Just grab this. No. Duplicate this. I'll just set the center right there and shift along the X. Now this is going to be a boomer take here. But the real problem that I have with tabletop RPGs is that I just... I can't do them anymore. Because I don't have good players. And I think that's the key. I have like one, maybe two players who would really be like down to do whatever in a game that I ran, right? And that's the thing. The games that I run are a certain way, right? They act a certain way. They play out a certain way. And when you're, I already love this. Look at this. And when you're playing a game with someone, you kind of want to have the same idea of what a good game is. And over the course of my gaming career, I have found that everyone has their flavor and it has to fit. Yeah, it is easier to find someone who fits your flavor than it is to try to change someone's flavor to fit yours, right? That's why my wife doesn't My wife doesn't play in my games anymore because they're not her speed, and I can't blame her. My games tend to be a little bit on the serious side, and she's very much a I just want to kill things sort of player, which is totally fine, and it's a legit way to experience the game. It's just not for me. And that's okay. My wife is yelling at me from across the room. What do I do with this? Oh, yeah. So, would I ever run a game again? Absolutely. Will I wait until I have the right group to run it with? Yeah. I'm too old to deal with a random group of people just, trying to slapdash a game together. Get that though. If you want to do something serious, not everyone is ready to be invested in that. It can be draining. Exactly. For me, that's exciting. For me, just wandering from room to room killing things, or doing a world where everything is goofy and everything is the rule of funny and hilarious, right? To me, that's draining. I don't like that. I want to be Surus. And if I find Surus players, then by Jove, I will make the most Surus game of all time. But yeah, you got to find the right people first, right? That's the way it goes. No. Along the X, we scale. Along the X, we slide. Take it on the other side. Scale along the Y, just a tiny bit in. Okay. Duplicate along. Oh, wait. Let's line up our thing. Duplicate along the Z. The other thing I'm doing here is I am learning the controls, right? By just duplicating things over and over again, I'm really just learning the controls of Blender. And it looks like this shelf here is the same. So let's scale the X down. Perfect. And then scale the X up. I think the best way to form a group is to have a set of people who already have a similar interest, right? Like if everybody in your group loves Star Wars, then you can be reasonably sure that a Star Wars style game will go over well. You use the tropes of Star Wars. You use the characters of Star Wars. Boba Fett shows up, everybody goes wild, right? That seems like fun. But you have to have that like initial understanding of like, yeah, this is a story that everybody would already be into, you know? And I think I have a little bit of that forming with some friends, but you know, you kind of gotta bring those friend groups together and make sure that they can have conversations with each other and interact with each other in healthy ways and all that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, VTubing makes that hard. We're just gonna put all these into the columns collection. And we're gonna rename the columns collection shelves. Because this is the shelves. Look at that. Oh my God. It looks actually good. I'm flippin' impressed. Because, you know, people in the VTubing sphere, it's hard to get them on camera. It's hard to get them in Discord. They're so busy. It's so much about communication, respect in the end, which is not always easy to organize and keep up. So true. And not just communication and respect, but also just chemistry, right? This is like Matt Mercer. He's a good DM. I like him. He's an excellent world builder. He's a good DM. He makes the funny voices. But if I had the option of playing at Matt Mercer's table or running Matt Mercer's table, I would run Matt Mercer's table 100%. Because that group has just been together so long. They have such deep chemistry. They are all so interested in the same kinds of stories, and they're all interested in each other's stories. They like give and take. They support each other. Like, that's the dream table, you know? Let's see. This needs to come this way? This way? This way? No, this way. Wow. It doesn't quite match the doesn't quite match the rest. Let's see. How do we do new material? Yeah, duplicate lore. Look at that. Can we hit one of the lighter patches? We might have. Oh! For more serious or more roleplay heavy games, having the players be fans of each other and each other's characters is so important. Yeah, and I think that's not a hard thing to do, assuming that you are already friends with that person, right? When I'm playing a game, when I'm in a game, if somebody is my friend, I'm going to be very supportive. I'm going to be a fan of their character. I'm going to try to, set them up for plot stuff. And if I don't know them, then there'll be that huge barrier in between me and getting to know them, and then, finding a connection. So 100% agree. We're just over here. We're agreeing with each other. Nice. Agreed. Yeah. But have you ever had a situation where somebody did not, you know, do that? I've gotten to know a lot of friends through D&D though. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that is a situation where you didn't already know that person. So what was it like kind of getting to know someone and then finding a friend? Because a lot of times for me, either my players already all know each other, or there's someone who knows someone else and then they get introduced to the group through that. Or my most recent game, nobody really knew each other and nobody had a particular interest in each other's characters. It's often when people bring friends or partners along, yeah. That makes sense. I know when whenever my wife plays, we always pretty much know what our characters are going to do because we're kind of like on a wavelength, and it always ends up that we, I don't know, like support each other, shoot each other softballs in terms of plot. Scale V X until you look like a book. Well, it's bookish. Scale in general until it's book sized. That's a bookish book if I ever saw one.
Why stop playing?
Hmm.
She told him why the incident when she knew why I stopped playing.
Yeah, the situation that made my wife not want to play anymore. My first game was set up by someone I hadn't talked to in 5 years. We randomly talked on the bus to school, and she was like, I have this group that really wants to play D&D. And I was like, this is my moment to shine. And I have been friends with them for 7 years, and we still play sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of how our group got set up as well. The longest running group I had, it was a bunch of people who are all working at this indie video game company, right? And they were like, oh, we could play D&D sometime. And I'm like, oh, I can run D&D sometime. And you're like, oh, you can run D&D? And then the rest is history, you know? I need to scale this on the y-axis a little bit. More book shape. Excellent. This is going to be our basic book shape for the entire thing. Okay. So grab on everything but the Y. Center it on the book. Let's set the let's set the X-raying on. A little more. Yeah, there we go. So the group worked out really well up until someone brought a friend along, right? And this friend was, you know, one person's friend, and they didn't understand kind of the play mood, the tone, right? And they ended up doing some attempted PvP. Just not good. Not good. Let's see. I want to scale this on everything but the Y. And then grab it on everything but the Y. Then duplicate it on everything but the Y. We love PvP that wasn't discussed beforehand. The party killer. Yep, the party killer. The mood killer is really what it was. And the friend deleter. Yeah, that was the problem. The problem was that this guy basically initiated combat without the knowledge or consent of anyone else in the group. Because and to be fair, there are groups that do that sort of thing, right? There are groups that are all about the combat, but not our group. Before I get too far in this, I'm going to move these to a newer collection called books. Yeah, but you talk about in the beginning, that's what session zeros are for. Yeah, the problem was it was in the middle of a West Marches style campaign where the session zero was all kind of laid out in a document so that people could join as they went along. And, unfortunately, that document was not carefully read by everyone. Let's scale along the local Z and scale along the local X. So we have a nice thickle book there. The books are appearing. Yeah. In the end, I think I can say it was, nobody's fault but mine for just not addressing the situation appropriately, right? Not making it clear what the game was about and why those rules were being broken. And yeah, it was just a bad experience, and it ended up making my wife not want to play anymore, which is sad. But I'm really sorry to hear that. That is really sad. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? I think so. There's a thing I like to think about a lot. It's called the Fox and the Hedgehog, and I just explained this again to a friend the other day, so it's probably why it's on my mind. But essentially, it's the story of the fox and the hedgehog. Every day, the fox tries to eat the hedgehog, and the hedgehog curls into a tight little spiky ball, and the fox fails. And so the fox comes up with a new plan. And then the next day, the hedgehog curls up into a spiky, tight little ball, and the fox fails, right? So the moral of the story is it's better to have one plan that works than 1,000 plans that don't work, right? But I'm of the opinion that the fox is actually doing some cool stuff there. The fox is actually like learning skills like, planning and creativity and, improvisation, right? These are cool skills. So in my mind, I am kind of a hedgehog when it comes to being a DM. I have one thing that I really like to do, just the one. And I like to do a variety of things in those campaigns. But really, I am like only fantasy. I only really get into crunchy systems. I've tried a lot of non-crunchy systems. I just don't like them. Right. And I like these kind of darker, grittier stories, right? And that's not my wife's cup of tea. But I think that there are Fox DMs that try tons of different things and do tons of different stories. And those sort of DMs often can adapt their sessions to whoever they really want to play with. Because, I mean, they can do pretty much whatever they want, right? This type of game, that type of game, however you do. And I think one of the things that people will tell you when you're growing up is that you have to focus on one thing, right? You have to be good, really good at one thing. And I just think that's not true at all. I think that if you are able to develop your Fox skills, then you can do a lot of different things. I was never good at that. Yeah, you can do a lot of different things. And that wide variety, the jack of all trades, the master of none, that makes you just as employable, like maybe even more employable, right? Because now you have a skill set that allows you to adapt and improvise to any situation. So I want to shift this along the local. No, I want to grab this along the local Z. Look at that. Look at that stack of books. We're doing it. I want to do good enough at a lot of things that's fun for me, but I rarely think about how employable I am. Bad face. Well, let me tell you a tip that I learned so when it comes to DMing, I'm very much a hedgehog. I know what I like and I want to do what I like. But for me, that's mostly because I've been a DM for so long that I've tried so many different things. And for me now, it's just, I know what I like and that's what I'm going to do. Right. And if the players want to do something else or be somewhere else or try something different, that's fine. It's just not for me, right? Rotate along the Y. But when it comes to art and music, I definitely fall into the Fox category. I want to try everything. I want to do all the different things. Yeah, which is great. I have something I enjoy. And I do hope that I find a group soon. I have the one player who I know I'll be able to do a cool session with her, and yeah, well, we're gonna try to find the others. But when it comes to art and music, I am very much a Fox. I want to try all sorts of new things. I want to try all sorts of interesting things. And I want to explore. I want to have fun. I want to play, right? And what I've found is that if you want to be a artisan, then what you need to do is you need to have a very specific skill set and focus hard on that skill set and create material in that skill set so that when people see your skill set and they see what kind of art you make, they'll know what they're able to buy, right? They're interested in buying from you because they can see the product and they know what they're getting into. However, when you have a wide variety of skills and you're interested in a lot of things, you end up being able to see a much broader picture of what's going on, and you can start to find work in tertiary roles such as project management and creative iteration and side roles such as marketing or finance. Essentially, because you have such a varied perspective on things, you can get a big picture. And let's say in marketing, you can take the whole package into account in your marketing, right? You're not just going to make a dev diary that's, how our game is programmed. You're going to make a dev diary, and you're going to make a artist's statement, and you're going to make a project management perspective, or a how do you account for an indie game perspective, right? So I think it's good to have a skill that you're like really focused in on, and you want to do just one thing because you know that you enjoy it. But then I also think it's good to have a field where you have a wide variety of things that you're interested in. Like this, like Blender. I fucking don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to try to get this bottom shelf of books done. And then next time we'll start working on shelf number 2 and 3 and 4 and over here even. We should probably do these books too. Fables and Life Lessons with Daddy Anzu. I mean, that's just the goal. That's the goal. That's the aesthetic. That's the dream. Right there, you nailed it. Let's rotate this. So, and no, that's not how I want to rotate it. How do I do this? Rotate it on everything but the y-axis. Shift. There we go. Genuinely, thank you. It's always nice to hear affirming words like that. Yeah, honestly, from my perspective, people understand when they enjoy something, and it's very easy for people to get really into a thing that they enjoy. Like, think about like any of your friends, and they just have like, oh, they know everything about that show, or they can play that instrument really well, or they can, tell you all the names of the Pokemon. Right? And it's really easy for people to get into, I enjoy something. I'm gonna learn everything I can about it. Fantastic. What's harder for people, I think, is to look at their field from an outside perspective. And that requires you to have experience in a lot of different things, which foxes get, Okay, wait, this shelf is really easy. What the heck? Take it along the Y. I mean, technically we're sticking some of these books into the bottom of the shelf, so we should probably fix that. And now we have our first bottom books. Yeah, so I hope that you can find your path in the field of video game stuff. Believe it or not, I have some experience in video game stuff myself. That's right. Well, I mean, I play a lot of video games, but also I was a voice actor in a video game. Well, I'm going to be a voice actor in a video game. I voice acted in a video game and it's still not out yet. And I've heard nothing back from the little studio. Can I talk about it? I guess. There's already a demo out, and I'm in the demo and I'm in the trailer, but it's been like a year or something since the demo came out, so I don't know what's happening with them. Have they tell me they're still going, so I'm forced to believe them. I can, oh God, how do I want to do this? I can find the thing. Yeah, here it is. Okay. There's the trailer. Can I talk about it? It's supposed to be a dating sim that's like, I don't know, wholesome dating sim. I dig that. I will gladly lend my voice to wholesome dating sim. That sounds cute. Yeah. I think it sounds great. I'm just, like I said, I am no, please don't look to me for any information about when or if it's coming out. They don't tell me nothing. But yeah, obviously, once the full game comes out, hopefully, once the game comes out, I'll be playing it on the channel, right? I have to date myself, obviously. All right. Last set of books. We're at time, but we're just gonna throw some quick books together, obviously. Let's just duplicate this, rotate it a little bit. Yeah, good. Duplicate this, grow it, rotate it. Duplicate, rotates ever so slightly, duplicate. I mean, should I date myself? Or should I date like the other characters first, right? I don't know. No, you got to date yourself, right? If I'm in a video game, I get to date who I want, and I'm going to date me. All right, let's turn off the X-ray here and take a look. Look at the books. I mean, they're all going to be like weirdly white books for now. Well, do you play the most dateable character? I'll tell you what's funny. The character they had me voice as a musician as well. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, I get it. I'm a musician. I'm playing a musician. So, most dateable character? I'm gonna say yes. So the last thing I want to do with the books, and we'll do this with all of them eventually, but I just want to try this now. Can we go to Object, Transform, randomize the transform, and we can randomize the Y scaling. No. Transform, randomize the Y scaling. And then we get that kind of like every book is a different size effect. I love. And you need, like, they look fine like this, but then you need the scaling to work. Let's just select all these objects and give them just a book material. Something like that. And then, yeah, it's hard to tell. Oh, that's a good angle. Ah, okay, that looks good. That looks good. Can I go into render view? It's gonna be dark. Let's hide the background. This is not funk. And I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot of this so that I can use it for my thumbnail for next week. All right. Alt H, bring back the background. Looking not bad. Look at that. Looking not bad. The back is going to be a little janky, but nobody sees that. All right. Well, let's save and let's go find someone to raid. Most dateable character, obviously, is Isaac Anzu. Holy smokes. Funicula broke 100 viewers. That's so cool. Well done, Funicula. So who shall we raid? I heard he is married though. You have heard correct. You make a fair point. All right, we're going to I'm going to try to raid someone I don't think we've raided before. Who is Mukia Punch. Mukia Punch. I did call him Daddy though, and he didn't complain. Listen, there are 3 types of viewers on my channel. The dad, the father, and the daddy. And it is all depends on which one they call me. So I'm used to it at this point. Also, Polly, but I guess that does increase my dateability. Okay, let's raid Mukia Punch. And if you're still in chat, thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks very especially for keeping me company. Feel free to copy the Chimera raid message and we'll go say hello to Mukia Punch. Next time I'll be writing some music, new music, not finishing up the last one like I did with these Blender streams, but brand new music. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's it. Whew. I'm a little exhausted. My name's Isaac Anzu. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll catch you next time. Farewell.